team ban.
Hello everyone and welcome to the joinDOTA League Season 2. This is the America Region Division 1. This is going to be a 2-game series for the round robin stage between Maruchan and Sneaky Nick's Assassin. We already saw Sneaky Nick's Assassin earlier tonight. They took on CNB in a 2-game series and ended up being a 1-1. In that last series they did not have Ush. They did have a stand-in, but for this series they do have Ush. They're still missing Whitebeard, who will be stood in for by Lust. Maruchan, going to be seeing them for the first time tonight. Zuni, Sweden, Sirius, Philo. Open bracket, close bracket, forget exactly who that is, but still. We're just going to be seeing them for the first time tonight. In the standings, Sneaky Nick's Assassin actually sitting at the very top, and Maruchan sitting at the bottom. So Maruchan's definitely the underdog coming into this match, and Sneaky Nick's Assassin. Let's see if that affects
10 seconds remaining.
The mentality of either the players. If Maruchan really tries to go for something quote-unquote cheesy or all-inny, or one of those push strats or level 1 Roche, things like that, or if Sneaky Nick's Assassin maybe tries to experiment up a little bit, knowing that, hey, they are the favorites, and they have a little bit of room for the standings. So, as far as the bans go, Dire Side Liking going to be denied from SNA. I think that they just always ban that, and then Maruchan going to take out the Bat Rider. They also take out SNA's Brewmaster for the mid lane, and Sneaky Nick's Assassin is going to be taking out the Naga Siren. With the first pick, instead of going for the Potom, Maruchan do go for a Treant Protector, so valuing that a bit highly. So, Sneaky Nick's Assassins can get something like Potom +1 or Potom Darkseer. I do know that they do love picking up that Darkseer for IX Mike pretty early on in the draft. I don't think Maruchan would take it, but still, they could. It will take a little bit of time here, and they do pick up the Darkseer, and we'll see if they go ahead and pick up Potom for fluff again. They don't have to, but... So they pick up Luna instead. Alright, so they're going to take up the other Moon Princess. So they're going to be picking up a Luna nice and early. The Wombo is pretty good with that, as well as the laning. Luna and Darkseer are both pretty strong laners. Luna's only problem is that she's really squishy. So against heavy nukes or pretty good range harassment, maybe like Vengeful Spirit Lina, it should be pretty hard to lane against. But Maruchan, they kind of reveal their hand. They pick up the Wisp right away, ban out the Disruptor. Very good counter to Wisp. Also, Sneaky Nick's Assassins love running that hero, even if Whitebeard isn't the one doing it. We saw them have great success with that against CNB in game number 1 in the last series. So, this could have been a deny pick as well. Wisp Luna's still pretty good. Maruchan have a lot of options here. We'll see what SNA decides to prioritize. They prioritize banning Tiny because it's just pretty hard to deal with, even if you are Luna. I think they need to pick up maybe like a Clockwork or something to deal with that, because Clock Luna does very well against almost all melee carries, but
10 seconds remaining.
We'll have to see. Even if that's the case, I mean, Tiny still gets really ridiculously strong late game, even against someone like Luna. So Maruchan, they take out the Raytheon. Interested if SNA bans out something like a Nick's Assassin, or if they ban out another Tiny partner, because if you take 2 bans on Tiny partners, like Maruchan's still going to get one that's going to be pretty good. So the Tiny one, yeah, that makes sense because he's just kind of in his own tier as far as partners with the Wisp. But I don't think you necessarily need to waste 2 bans on it. Just personally, I think banning out maybe a strong mid hero, maybe a team fight controller like Puck, a Dire Side TA, Invoker, interestingly enough, is still in the pool. These are 2 teams that don't really prioritize it in the first phase. So banning out Invoker can work very well with the global presence coming out from Sunstrike, as well as the team fight control that Invoker offers, which he has a lot of. So we'll see. This is always the part that takes the longest as you kind of solidify your own draft. They ban out the SF. Interesting enough that they'd be scared of a Dire SF, but with Wisp it's still pretty good if the SF is babysat, as well as a Relocate Requiem. Pretty scary to deal with, and also SF farms very quickly when he has a Wisp to bring him around the map to farm more efficiently and come into team fights to secure kills. That can get pretty scary, can definitely out-farm a Luna, which is not something you normally see from most heroes. Luna farms very quickly. I think she's really only out-farmed by heroes like a Radiance Illusion hero or Anti-Mage.
5 seconds remaining.
Assuming there's no extra partner. So, kind of a classic combo here. SNA, they're going to pick up the Jakiro. Goes very well with the Darkseer because you can vacuum into all of Jakiro's spells. It looks like they're just going to go big team fight here.
Radiant
That
team pick.
Viper is kind of odd to me. I guess no one really does too well against Viper in a mid lane, and it's a mech carrying core, which Maruchan does tend to favor. And the mid hasn't been picked up from SNA yet, but they do go ahead and pick up Invoker. So Invoker's not going to have the worst time against Viper, because he does have the region from Quas if he decides to, whether he goes Quas X or Quas X, or if you just get 3 Quas orbs at level 3, you can pretty much withstand, or sorry, you get 3 Quas orbs at level 5 on your way to 4-1-4-1 at level 10, or on your way to 3 points in Quas and Max Wex for your Quas Wex build. Either of those routes gives you enough region that you can deal with any of the harassment that comes out from Viper. So, in the end, Maruchan, they do pick up their offlane Tidehunter. A hero we've seen rise in stock a bit. Ravage, I think it's a little overrated, but it's still very good. I think the main part of Tidehunter is just Anchor Smash. 60% damage reduction for your base damage is absolutely absurd for teamfights. Luna's not going to have too much base damage, so it's not going to be the biggest deal, and most of her damage is going to be from glaives, and there's a lot of magic damage coming out, so that's not going to play the biggest factor. However, everyone from SNA is going to be wanting to bunch up, so they are pretty susceptible to the Ravage, and you don't really want to go BKB on Invoker. Luna, she's going to build her own BKB. Darkseer, he'll probably have to build a BKB as well. So it'll have a bit of a timing there. They have a pretty aggressive timing as far as when Viper gets a mech and Tidehunter gets level 6, and either his Arcane Boots or a Blink Dagger in that offlane. But SNA, looking for this last ban here, it's going to have to be a hard carry, unless they're going to be planning on running a Viper carry, which I doubt. So they're going to go ahead and ban out the Gyrocopter. Call down, as well as Ravage, can be pretty devastating if they catch you before the BKBs come in Maruchan. They're going to deny the Rubik last pick. Playing a Rubik against a Tidehunter, you basically, if you just steal Ravage once, I mean, you kind of negate Tidehunter's advantage in a fight. Kind of the same way a Shadow Demon can against a Radiance Illusion hero, at least that big aspect of it. So they did need another support. It seems like they really are going teamfight here, so maybe someone like a Sand King could work out quite well. Ancient Apparition has been completely ignored in all the SNA games I've seen tonight, but he can work quite well. If we're looking at laning, that also synergizes very well with Lunar Blessing, having Chilling Touch on top of that. You can really zone out the Tidehunter, especially having 3 ranged heroes. Sand King can go jungles, and he's being prioritized a lot. Just in general, he's in the pool, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Other good teamfight supports. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess you can run a support silencer if you're really scared of the Ravage getting off before you get all your spells off. And they go with the Skywrath Mage, a little bit more single target, some good silence as well. And the Magic Burst is actually a lot, especially for heroes like Wisp and Viper, who are deceivingly squishy. And Tidehunter is also kind of squishy as well before he gets a Piper or anything like that. His magic resistance isn't really that great. And most of his tankiness comes from Crack and Shell, as well as just being a strength hero and having a stout shield. So we don't really see support Skywrath Mage run too much. It's usually Alliance and Navi that like to run it, normally because you just don't get too much farm. And Skywrath Mage, he does very well with farm, and sometimes with just Arcane Boots and Force Staff, you don't really do as much as you would like to see on that hero. But still, going to be good. It's another ranged hero that's going to be able to harass Tidal. Lane Maruchan for the last carry here. There's still Sven in the pool. There's still Chaos Knight in the pool. I think Chaos Knight is very underrated, especially when he has a Wisp. He's incredible late game. All those illusions doing full damage, it's ridiculous. Morphling is in the pool as well. I don't know if he can really... I think they really need to go for some late game here, because the late game from SNA is ridiculous with the 3 cores, as well as Skywrath Mage, who, even played as a support, is going to be able to do a lot of damage later on in the game. Kind of the same way Visage is in that aspect. They can kind of dodge fights if they really want to, because the team fight from SNA is ridiculous, so they could go for their own anti-mage if they wanted to split push and try to get to the later stages of the game. But then that doesn't really work out too much, because they have to decide whether they're going to have 4 heroes really strong at one stage in the game and have 1 hero really weak in that stage, or if they want all their heroes really strong in one stage of the game, because SNA has a pretty well-rounded lineup. Their only weakness is they don't really have too much before 16 to 18, maybe even 20 minutes before Darkseer gets 1 or 2 items. Luna gets 1 item and a BKB, Invoker gets a couple items, and then both the supports get one. Their lanes are still okay. Their lanes are kind of weak, but SNA, pretty much past 20 minutes, they're all pretty strong. So Maruchan, this next pick has to be really careful, and they're running out of time for it as well. So let's see here.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I'm out of guesses. I've speculated everything that I think would happen, and they go with a Death Prophet carry. Okay, so they're just going to try to end the game before it really gets ridiculous here. And it looks like it's going to be a Viper farming in the lane. And going to be a... Oh, that was the wrong thing. And it's going to be a Death Prophet. So the cool thing about Death Prophet is a lot of the heroes on Sneaky Nyx Assassin really rely on their spells. And the AoE silence is a huge pain. Obviously, BKB and Mantis Style that come out of IX Mike are going to... Well, IX Mike playing Luna, that's interesting. Excuse me. Luna getting the BKB as well as the Mantis Style, not really going to have the biggest problem with that. Invoker, I mean, I guess he kind of has to go for BKB, but if he gets a Yules, he can just Yules himself during the silence and then just come down and have all of his spells. Ush can probably just builds a BKB this game, so they're going to have a limited amount of time when that becomes effective, though Death Prophet is underrated late game. If she gets some items, she's pretty tanky. The Ghosts do a lot of damage as long as she makes sure to protect herself, but speaking of which, let's go ahead and introduce the teams. It is going to be Zuni playing the Treant Protector, heading to the bottom lane with boots first. It's going to be Sweet MC playing on the EO, the Wisp, and going to mid lane as a Death Prophet. We're going to have open bracket, close bracket, and as a Tide Hunter, it's going to be Lice, and on the carry Viper, we're going to be having Stilo. On the side of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, these picks are kind of interesting. I wonder if they swap. Yeah, they swapped already a couple. But it's going to be Fluff and Stuff playing the Skywrath Mage, and it is a support. It's going to be a mid lane. It's going to be SNA, going to be playing Carl, the Invoker. IX Mike playing his signature Darkseer, and it's going to be Ush playing on the Luna, and then we're going to have Lust playing on the Jakiro. So yeah, I had a quick brain fart there. Yeah, Fluff and Stuff was playing carry last game. He normally does play support. Apologies. Yeah, that's just their carry player. I don't know why I was thinking that. Of course Fluff and Stuff is playing support. I just got last game in my head. But Sweet MC and Zuni, they're doing the sneaky thing, hiding in the trees. They're going to try to get a gank at level 1. And Luna, she's not very good at level 1. She only has, 400 HP, 473 HP. She got Lunar Blessing at level 1 as well. So she's not going to have a Lucent Beam to stop anyone in the gank. She does have the max move speed, or she has the highest move speed in the game at level 1. And Lust, he's going to be able to secure himself a haste rune, so nothing really should come of this. But it's really just a surprise factor, as Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they're not going to be expecting a tri-lane in the offlane, at least to start out with. But Stylo, he's alone. He's going to be spotted out by Mike. Mike's going to have kind of a tough time here, but still. Going to be pretty easy to get farmed as a Darkseer. Well, Gush is going to come out from Lice. There's going to be the Leech Seed as well. Ush, he's going to be First Blood.
First blood.
So it worked. Sweet MC able to secure the First Blood with his right clicks, and Ush got a TP scroll before he died, so he was able to get back to the lane right away. So the Wisp's going to have early boots. So now both the supports have boots, going to be able to roam pretty early. And I think that's going to be the name of the game for both of them. In the mid lane, we did see Death Prophet get zoned out a little bit, so that was just getting zoned out by Fluff and Stuff on the Skywrath Mage. So now Invoker already a full level ahead, which is very beneficial to him. And it looks like he will be going Quas X-Rays. He's picked up the Null Talisman. Going to turn this into a Ring of Basileus. And speaking of Invoker, gets Leech Seeded. There's the punches, but switching to Quas, eating a Tango, he'll be totally fine. In top lane, Stylo, he's getting harassed out a little bit. Has 1 point in Corrosive Skin. So IX Mike taking a bit of damage. He'll probably just have to salve up and going back to the lane. But he'll still be able to get his farm just because that's the way Darkseer works. All he has to do is just put an Ion Shell on a creep, and I don't think Viper can keep him away from the creep wave, but I don't really think that he can keep Darkseer out of experience range. It's asking a little too much. And it looks like there will just be babysitting in dual lanes here. Going to be Lust and Ush down in the bottom lane against Lice, with the roaming supports as well as Fluff and Stuff just kind of roaming on his own as well. So in the mid lane, after the experience zoning out and as well as the return onto SNA, looks like they're about even in levels again. Death Prophet probably just going to go for something early fighting, maybe like phase drums. It synergizes very well with the movement speed from Witchcraft. It also makes you very hard to kill whenever you're using Exorcism. So I always think that that's a pretty good build on Death Prophet. Fluff and Stuff, he's kind of waiting here. He's seeing if he can get a gank off. He's pinging him off. And Cold Snap is invoked, but only 1 point in invoke. Well, Sunstrike is there as well. Oh, but the Death Prophet avoids it. They're still going to be able to get it, though. She doesn't have boots. Well, she pops a Regen Rune, buys herself a little bit of time, but one more Arcane Bolt's going to be able to get it. Just pulling up a little too far, and Death Prophet actually has... She, Invoker, and CM all have the lowest move speed at 280, and only 294 without one level in Witchcraft. Pretty hard to get away from that. And Skywrath Mage has one of the freaking highest. I think it's like 325 or something. It's absurd. But still, Shafter giving up that first blood in the bottom lane. He didn't really lose any gold. He was able to TP back in the lane as well. He's already sitting at 17 last hits at 3 minutes, so going pretty well. Weiss is stacking the Ancients, and I think it is more important that they shut down this Crobolus more than anything else. Viper's going to get his farm, and Fluff and Stuff really playing this well. This is the weakness of Death Prophet. It's easy to roam on her, and Fluff and Stuff making sure he exploits that weakness. At the very least, even if it's not killing her, well, SNA's going to be able to keep her out of experience range, going to be able to get more farm, and if he gets zoned out subsequently, he can just go to these... he can just go to the camps and farm because he's on Radiant. So I think that advantage would certainly be going the way towards Sneaky Nick Assassins. Weiss, he's going to be caught at the edge of the Ice Path. There's the Arcane Bolt. They have the vision on the high ground. There's the Liquid Fire, and the Sunstrike will connect. They're going to be able to get this. One more right click from Fluff and Stuff going to be able to get with the Sunstrike on the mark, but at the same time, SNA, there's the smoked Tree and Protector as well as the Wisps. They're trying to run up. Got that tree. He's terrifying. He's fast. Leech Seed was queued up, but he got fogged right away. Now SNA, he's under the cover of his tower, but Zuni, he's pretty tanky, and he had that regen as well. They're going to be able to dive him under the tower, but he still does go down. Oh, the Ghost Walk! 40 HP. Really good. The tower hit's actually doing him in, so Invoker does get the kill. Under cover of 3 people. The Ghost Walk. Ix might get a little bit ballsy here. Only slows, and he has the Surge, so still going to move him at max move speed. Sweet MC, going to find a haste. I think he can kill Ix Mike here if he takes a haste. Yep, easiest gank of your life. He's going to have to commit the spirits to do it. I don't think he really needed to. But yeah, Ix Mike's going to die. He buys himself a TP scroll before he goes down. And in the bottom lane, Tide manages to get picked off again in the middle of that. So Luna, very good at pushing towers early on. 2 points in Lunar Blessing. Jakiro with 2 points in the Liquid Fire. Going to take down this tower really early. They do waste a fort on it, so they aren't going to have that again until 10 minutes. But still, I mean, when there's a safe lane Luna that you're not aggro trying against, you expect your tower to go down pretty early. Just because Lunar Blessing is really good, and she had the Ring of Basilius as well, had that turned on, so all the creeps doing a lot of damage. So now she kind of has to, it's a little bit less room to farm. Tidehunter has a bit more, so that's pretty nice, but still Luna can farm the jungle pretty easily, especially if she picks up a Helm of the Dominator. Ush might go Midas here. He's got 1,500 gold saved up, and I think Midas is kind of risky just because they know that they have the better late game anyway, and it's going to be a pushing strat coming out from Maruchan, but if you feel confident enough about it, then you can. I personally think that getting a Helm of the Dominator is a pretty good in-between, just because, yeah, it's a good farming item, but it can also help you sustain in fights. You can get a lot of farm just from stacking and farming the Ancients, but you do need the levels and glaives before you can really do that, and you can't stack the Ancients too much. But I just don't like losing a game because I got greedy. That's just my take on it. But still, we'll see what he decides to go for. Invoker, he's going to be going for his own hand of money. He already has his boots, Null and Bassi, and Invoker, not really one of the heroes that Hand of Midas can be punished on just because he benefits so well from levels. They're going to be trying to go on Ush here. Zuni, he's hiding in the trees. Wisp comes in, and, well, she gets a Midas recipe, uses the Eclipse, and at least gets that before she dies. Buys a TP scroll as well. Fluff, he's coming in. Sunstrike going to be shared, though. And now the Regen is coming back. Jakiro throws out the Ice Path. Only going to hit on Sweaty MC. But Fluff, he got the right click to clean up the Tree and Protector. And Weiss, now he's in trouble. Well, Fluff and Stuff at 4-0. He gets a double kill as well. The Urn Charge going to be able to keep him alive as well. Sweet MC, he gets Ice Path. Is Invoker going to be coming? Does he have the Sunstrike again? And no, he does not for 5 seconds, but Fluff is able to get him with the Arcane Bolt. Death Prophet is coming up. She activates an Invis Rune just to get some mana. Now no one knows where she is. Zuni comes in, but he gets Cold Snapped right away. Liquid Fire. Exorcism going to be used, but now they're caught in an Ice Path. Dual Breath. That's going to be able to clean up Zuni as well. Lust might go down to the Exorcism, but it's still a 3v1. He doesn't get denied. Death Prophet kills him. Ush is coming in as well. There's the Ancient Seal, and Death Prophet will go down, even if it's not to the Sunstrike. So that's a 4 for 2. In favor of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, I believe, but man, Fluff off to a crazy start. Yeah, this is a support Skywrath Mage. Already has Arcane Boots at... That is Arcane Boots, right? Yeah. Already has Arcane Boots at 7.5 minutes and has 5 kills and 3 assists. So this is the snowballing sort of mid Skywrath Mage that you expect to see. And not to mention Ush did finish up his hand of money, so... Whether he decides to go super greedy, go for a Helm of the Dominator, or rush the BKB right after this remains to be seen. I think rushing the BKB has its merits. Just because if you can just live in the fights and have level 11, you can do a whole lot with not very many items, at least at the earlier stages of the game. So, gonna be good stuff there. As far as Crobolus, she has boots and a bracer, probably gonna be going for that phase drums. Gonna be picking up a DD rune in the top lane. We'll see if she... Oh, also top lane, Stylo. He got gone on by Fluff and stuff and IX Mike, but Wisp comes in. Living Armor is there as well. Viper Strike on the Fluff, but he gets Surge. He's going to be totally fine. IX Mike's going to be fine as well. Is there Silence? No Silence has been skilled just yet. Throws an Ion Shell on the Creep Wave to push it out, and they're going to be just fine on the cover there. Tier 1 tower. SNA? Let's see if what he's going for. Does he have a TP on the way? Yeah, he just has a TP on the way. Usually we see X-Word Invokers go for Force Staff into like a Necro Book, and usually in a Sheepstick or Aghanim Scepter, something like that, but... Let's see what SNA decides to go for. If he goes for a Necro Book nice and early, that'll definitely be some pretty good counter push. They're going to dive Zuni here. He gets Ancient Seal, but not after he gets the Nature's Guise off. And Sunstrike going to be landing on the Elias as he's TPing in. He's going to go down. He doesn't even have the Liquid Fire on him. Living Armor. Oh my gosh, she's so tanked with the Kraken Shell. But here comes the Death Prophet. She has the Exorcism. Macropyre is going to be spent, forcing him to walk through it. But that's going to be able to finish off Jakiro, Fluff and stuff. He's going to try to get away. There was also a DD on Crobolus, but SNA, he's just like, I'm just going to click on this tower team. Don't worry about me. He's going to be ultimately be forced back. Meantime, Ush picked up the Power Treads. See what he's going to be going for next. IX Mike getting close to the mechanism, but Viper a little bit closer. He already has the Aquila Buckler. I guess, yeah, he's really only ahead by the Buckler, so not too far ahead, but kind of expected that Viper's going to get a little bit better farm than a Darkseer. Darkseer can get zoned out, as mentioned earlier on by a Viper, pretty easily. Even though he can still get farm, but it's not as reliable as being able to actually stand up to the creep wave and get last hits. And Viper turned the Buckler on. He wants to be pushing this lane, but pretty hard against the Ion Shell. Meantime, Tide, he's sitting at 750 gold, does not have level 6 just yet, has been trying to farm these Ancients, but they've been warded off from Sneaky Nyx Assassins, so they'll know when he's going for them. They're probably going to try to gank him as well. Going to be trying to get this mid tower as well, trying to get that map control. Living Armor going to be there as well, but Liquid Fire eats through that ridiculously quickly. Another good counter to Living Armor is to have that Liquid Fire, as well as Ion Shell. Two very good ways to eat through those charges almost instantly. And they get the tower.
Dire's middle tower has
First tower of the game goes towards Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Phase Boot's going to be coming up for Crobolus, and they're going to be moving towards the top lane, looking for IX Mike. Does she have a point in silence? No, not yet. She needs another level. Prioritizing the levels in Witchcraft so that you can be super fast. Movement towards the jungle is scouted out by this Observer Ward as well as the Illusions. And looking at the net worth, as expected, the two heroes with the two minuses going to be way far ahead. There's a relocate coming in from the Tidehunter. He just hit level 6. Eclipse is going to be used as well. The Mystic Flare going to be cleaning up for Wisp, but two already down, 2 for 2 currently on each side. And Death Prophet is silenced. Viper Strike on the Fluff and stuff. He's going to go down. That's a mega kill streak going the way of the Viper. And that relocate, they were not prepared for that. They're like, wait a second, Wisp's coming in? And Tidehunter just at level 6 got that Ravage. And, well, going to be a 2 for 3 ultimately the way of Maruchan. And as well as Silo getting a lot of me. That finishes up his mech, gives him 900 gold on top of that. He's almost going to have a point booster after that. Or he can just finish up his phase boost if he really would like to. In the meantime, SNA, he's picked up a Staff of Wizardry. Whether this is going to be a Necro Book or a Force Staff remains to be seen. We'll kind of see what he decides to go for. I personally think the Necro Book would provide a little bit more utility. He already has a lot of mobility coming out from the Surge, coming out from IX Mike, so he doesn't necessarily need the Force Staff just yet. She's going to be playing this really greedy. He's getting a lot of good farm, despite being only 1 and 3. So he's going to be going for the Helm of the Dominator right away. And he's already starting to level up the Moonglaves. Really, whenever you hit level 11, some players will actually opt to get the 4th level in Moonglaves instead of the 2nd level in Eclipse, just to be that much bigger in the farming silo. He's getting ganked by 3 heroes. There's the Ice Path. He didn't dodge it at all. Mystic Flare, he's going to completely eat it. Doesn't take too much damage. No negative burn charges there and living armor. He's actually pretty tanky. Use that mech and he's going to be able to get there. Wall is going to be used. Tide is chasing himself. Liquid Fire is on the tower. Fluff, he's diving past with this double Ion Shell creep wave. And Lice, he's getting Ancient Sealed. And, well, I mean, Fluff, you're getting a little bit ballsy there, son. He actually gets Force Staffed away by SNA. He did end up going for the Force Staff, actually. Just finished that off. Cold Snap, Forward Spirits on the west. Really easy to take him down. Zuni gets caught in the Ice Path, though. So SNA, he's moving up, but everyone's really low health. He has to Ghost Walk. Exorcism's going to use. Ice Mikey's going to go down. He had something on the way, but not sure what it was. But SNA looks like he might want to re-goose here. He's just slowing everyone, I guess. But, I mean, you can't really fight against that many heroes. Random Crypt Swarm just to see if they can find him. With Fluff and stuff, they might try to do something. He has Mystic Flare in a bit, but that's the only spell he'd have the mana for in the meantime. Doing Ush things, split pushing the bottom lane. Chip damage is whatever, at least forces a living armor charge. They're going to go for this. Fluff and stuff, they forgot he was behind the tower. SNA, he's back to full health with just waiting on the Quas. Only has about half mana though. I don't know if they have the creep wave to dive this. Lice is pretty tanky. He's got Ravage as well. If there's TP support, could be pretty difficult. And TP should be coming off cooldown right now. Let's see, there's movement coming up from Krobelish. She's got the Inviscera. She doesn't have Exorcism though. This could be pretty interesting here. Oh, but spotted by the Sentry Ward. There's going to be the Cold Snap. There's going to be the Liquid Fire right away. Living Armor going to be buying some time. And there's another Sentry Ward deployed as well. Ice Path going to be able to hit, but she's going to be able to get away, making sure she doesn't break that invisibility. Great way to remain calm under pressure. And bottom lane, going to be getting pushed still. Viper's going to be TPing in. Stylo gets Wisps tethered, but Ush, you know, being at 380 move speed is just going to be able to run away. So. Top tower still has not been left. There's a relocate coming in. Ice Path there instantly though. There's a Tree Protector. There's the Ravage, but everyone is caught in the wall. Everyone walked through it. But is there a Deafening Blast? Is there anything? There's no Invoke. Then Jakiro, he's used all his spells. Ice Mike has used all his spells as well. Fluff and stuff. He's on the backside of the fight. He manages to clean up the Tide, but he's taking a lot of tower damage. And in the meantime, SNA, he's going to be able to TP out. 3 for 2 in the end, but not nearly as bad as it could be, as Invoker and Luna still living. And Luna just pushing the mid lane, doing what she does best, and avoiding these team fights. Never really thought that, I mean, looking at this lineup, I think that Nyx's team fights is, or Sneaky Nyx Assassin is really, really good team fight. I wouldn't expect them to be the ones to avoiding the team fights, but when you build Midas Helm of the Dominator, you kind of want to. We should look to see her picking up that Ogre Club. There's 1 point in silence now, but Ush is just going to be able to shrug it off. Oh my god, full greed. He's going for a Yasha. Alright, Ush. Alright, finish your Manta Style and your Satanic before buying an Ogre Club. Go ahead. Buy a Butterfly too while you're at it. No one needs a BKB. I mean, if it works, then it works. I mean, Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they're making a lot of space for him, so it's going to be working out. So 14 to 13 on kill score. Looking quote-unquote even there, but the farm is just so much more an advantage of Sneaky Nyx Assassins. And they're on 2 heroes that can farm very quickly, in a Quas Exort Invoker and a Luna. You know, Invoker farms very quickly just with using his Forge Spirits to even push out the lanes, as well as being able to gain assists from just throwing out Sunstrikes in the middle of a fight and continuing to farm in another location on the map. And Luna, one of the fastest farmers in the game just because of the power of Moonglaves and stacking Ancients with the Helm of the Dominator, which she now is going to start doing with this Dominated Centaur. So it's just been 4 plus Ush. 4 pushing, Ush pushing, and this is what needs to be done against the Tree and Protector. Get those Liquid Fire charges. Zuni's coming in, under the cover of Nature's Dives. There's going to be an Overgrowth Relocate coming in, but the wall is right on top of that. It gets 2 of them. There's a back as well. And there's the Meatball coming in from Invoker. He force-stats himself away. But Stilo, he uses his mech, and he's pretty tanky with this Wisp regen. And let's see, no one's dead just yet. Everyone pretty low health. Krobelish gets out by the skin of her teeth. In the meantime, there's another Ice Path going to be able to hit Stylo as well as an Ice Wall. But did Luna come in? Yes, Luna came in. He's going to be able to get it. SNA is able to secure that kill. Eclipse is going to be behind the tower. They're going to be able to get at least 2. Tidehunter goes down. Tree and Protector, he gets out. Oh, but he gets hit by the blind Ice Path. Really good there. And Sneaky Nyx Assassin's taking firm control of this game. This is going to be It's a first tier 2 tower going out of the way, and when you're a tree and protector, you do not expect this to happen. Not to mention Luna's building is really greedy, not being punished for not going for that BKB. And given how these fights have been going, she's just been staying really far back, waiting for the spells such as Overgrowth and Ravage to be used. And, you know, actually looking at it not from a greedy perspective, going for the Mantis Style is really not that bad, because the things that will control you, such as Overgrowth and Silence, can be just manted out of. And Viper Strike does go through the BKB, so it's like a whatever thing. The only problem is that you're just so squishy. I mean, sitting at Dent Treads, you're only at 815 HP. But still, Ush is just playing his positioning really well, and he's getting away with it and making it work. So he can do that. Lice, Undercover Magic Dives comes in. He has the Ravage right away. They're going to be going on to SNA. Actually, there's the Ice Path and the Vacuum coming in. Exorcism's going to be used. There's a Meatball and the Macro Pyre. Zuni, he's going to be the first to go down after Invoker, and Ush, he's going to go down as well. So Maruchan taking a really good fight here. Fluff this up. He's going to go down currently. So catching him before getting very greedy and using their team fight to their best ability. IX Mike, he's going to be able to surge. He's going to be able to get away. He's getting close to that Blink Dagger as well, so he's going to have the luxury of being able to stay pretty far back in these fights and blink in to counter-initiate. And with that, hopefully the first tier 1 tower can go down on the side of Maruchan. Some people think Death Prophet's a quote-unquote pushing hero. Oh, she's going for Yules. So, if you go for, interestingly enough, if you have max level Witchcraft, anytime you phase, if you have drums and Yules, you are 1 movement speed away from max move speed. If you go for Boots of Travel, like that's the build I really love going for on this hero, is going Boots of Travel, drums and Yules. You're just a perpetual max move speed. Makes it really hard to kill you, gives you almost all the mana regen you need, and it just helps your positioning so much in all the fights, as well as moving around the map to farm quickly, which is something that hero doesn't necessarily do as well as others. And Death Prophet's a hero that you need a fair amount of farm on. I mean, there's enough farm that you can, like, get by with Death Prophet, but to really sustain, especially in the later stages of the game, you're going to want a Heart, you're going to want a Shiva's Guard, you're going to want something like a Yule Scepter as well. You're going to want to be decently tanky, and you're going to want to provide something more to your team fight than just, well, I have Ghosts and hopefully I stay alive. So, I even really like Scotty or Atos on Death Prophet, just because the health and the they really help her out, as well as the slows, make sure that people just stay in Witchcraft. And when you're really fast and you chase people with Exorcism, it's just really difficult to run away if she also has a way to slow you. So looking at the other builds, it looks like Luna will not be going full greedy. It's just a casual Yasha, not finishing the Mantis Style. She'll be going for the BKB. About 1,500 away from that. And there's a smoke. They're ones wanting to get active because they know, well, Maruchan, whenever Exorcism is back up, maybe they can take the Roche, maybe they can take a good team fight, as well as Ravage. Maruchan is kind of dependent on their cooldowns. Not as much as Sneaky Nyx Assassins kind of would appear to be, but still. Well, Cold Snap. Fort Spirits, they really hurt. On the backside of the fight, there's going to be an Ice Path going to be hitting on the 2. Overgrowth is going to be committed as well. SNA, he's coming in, and he throws out the Deafening Blast. He's trying to get away from the fight. Exorcism is going to be used as well on the backside. He Ghost Watch to get away. IX Mike, he gets the Vacuum and the wall off. He's not... Oh, he does get down to the Exorcism. And let's see, Tide, he does have his Blink Dagger, so he's able to get out. And currently, that was just a 2 for 1. Although Krabolis does ultimately go down to her own illusions in the mid lane, so... That's not the best in the world. Tide, he actually is getting greedy here. Blink, Gush on the Lust, but he's decently tanky. He's got a lot of HP and a fair amount of armor. He's got 15 armor. He's just going to TP out. They can't cancel that. Lust, he's going to be able to force half himself away as well. And he actually went for... Wait, how did this Aghanim Scepter just kind of appear in his inventory? Sunstrike? Blind Sunstrike looking for Zuni. Wasn't able to find him. So 20 to 18 our kill score. So... Well... Still, you're playing against a team with much, much better late game than you, and they have all your towers and you only have 1. And you have a tree, so it's a kind of hard position to be in. You don't really want to be there. And Invoker did not have to go for a Necro Book just yet, so he went for the Aghanim Scepter. His team fight utility is really good. I think it's a 5-second cooldown for Invoke at level 3. Scepter cooldown is 4. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, that's right. So... the Scepter cooldown is the Invoke cooldown at level 4 Invoke at level 17 is 5 seconds, and the Scepter cooldown for 1 level minus is 4. And when you hit level 17, it's a 2-second no mana Invoke cooldown, so you basically need to spam all your spells in a fight, which is the most useful part of getting an Aghanim's on Invoker. And we can see, like, Ags Refresher Invoker, you just... there's one combo that you have to do, which just... If people don't have BKBs and there's a Veil on top of it, which Jakiro has... Speaking of which, that's a really smart pickup. There's so much magic damage on the side of Seeking Nyx Assassins. You can basically just kill an entire team with it. Well, hold that thought as there is a push. Luna's able to get it with the help of, Lunar Blessing as well as Liquid Fire. They melt down these towers pretty quickly, so they're just going to go back to the bottom lane and farm. But yeah, late in the game, if Invoker just does the Tornado, EMP, and then into Meatball Deafening Blast, and then you refresh, and you Meatball Deafening Blast again, and then you add a spell on top of that, you almost can just 1v5 a team if they're all clumped and don't have BKBs. So, speaking of being all clumped, Maruchan, they're going to be looking out for a pick-off here. I surmise they want to just secure Roche off of this, because Roche is going to be an important thing. They really need to start getting some map control, because they only have one tower left, and it looks like they just want to smoke and actually commit to Roshan. Whether they use Exorcism for this or not, they're going to use it. They could get it with just the Viper damage, but they want to make sure this goes down very quickly. There's probably going to be an Aegis on Silo. Sun's not going to be able to scout it out, but I don't think they're in position to pick it up. Fluff&Stuff, he has an Invis Rune. Is he going to try to snatch it or anything like that? I don't think he can. Roche goes down, Silo picks up the Aegis, and he has his Aghanim Scepter. Oh, but in the backside of the fight, there's going to be Ravage Spin, Eclipse Spin as well. IX Mike, he gets off the wall. There's a Relocate coming back in. Stylo, he's able to click down Lust, but the Mystic Flare is going to be able to pop the Aegis as well. Maruchan getting caught so out of position there. It looked like they had such a good fight, but Relocate coming back in. He was relocated out of the fight. Now it's just a 2v4, and they're targeting down the Wisp. He gets Ancient Sealed. He gets Earned as well, but that's only going to be delaying the inevitable. Fluff&Stuff, wait, he might go down. His team abandoned him. Stylo is going to be pursued now, but Tornado is off the mark. Lucent Beam is there. He's trying to deny himself to the Ancients. But the Glaze are going to be able to kill him. He walks next to the Ancients and get it, and Lyce, he's going to be the only one to get out of the fight. He has a cloak working towards that Pipe of Insight for his team, but still, Seeking Nyx Assassin playing that really well, getting themselves in position, baiting that fight, and IX Mike going for his own BKB pretty quickly after that Blink Dagger, so he's going to be pretty invulnerable during these fights. Invoker has his Boots of Travel, Luna has her finished Manta, and everyone's just farming so efficiently on the side of Seeking Nyx Assassins. It's almost like the team fights are good, but like the team fights are good, but in an even team fight where you have all your abilities, but the other team just has more items, they're going to win the team fight until like super late in the game. Also, Jakiro, it's a chainmail. I guess that's going to be a blade mail. I mean, blade mail is pretty popular against Death Prophet, especially if she doesn't go for her own BKB, because unless you're focusing someone specifically in the fights, the ghosts from Exorcism aren't going to do anything unless... Well, hold on a second. Let's go ahead and... I apologize for that. So, unless you are focusing someone with Exorcism, then your ghosts are just going to be wandering around willy-nilly and kind of just... The AI chooses which target it wants to attack. So if she's focusing on being defensive in the fights, kind of just running around trying not to die, using herself and stuff like that, she's going to take damage from a blade mail coming out from Jakiro if that's indeed what he's going for. I highly doubt it's a medallion at 25 minutes. And I know it's not a mech. I mean, it could be an Assault Cuirass, but I think Assault Cuirass is better on someone like Invoker or Luna. And it is going to be an Atos coming out from Skywrath Mage, so... Fluff&Stuff, Atos, one of the best items going to be on Skywrath Mage. By the way, SNA, he's getting gone on here, but he's able to invoke Ghost Walk, so... Relocate was spent for that. That was 4 heroes. And looks like they're going to re-goose here. Fluff&Stuff is there, but the Relocate's going to be out. IX Mike is here as well. He's going to be blinking up, but there's a Viper Strike. Tornado is there as well. And the vacuum gets totally whipped as well as the Mystic Flare. Doesn't matter. Usher's there with the Eclipse. They're going to be able to finish off Stylo. Exorcism's going to be used, but Death Prophet, she might get bursted out. Never mind, Stylo is freaking tanking, man. But Ravage is going to be spent. There's a re-engagement. Ush is here. Viper does eventually go down, but that's going to be a double kill going the way of the Crobulus. Wall is dropped. Ice Mike, he's low. And Jakiro, he's not in this fight. He's just pushing bottom lane. Wow, what a re-engagement off the re-engagement from Maruchan. Everyone was so low, and even I didn't expect Viper to survive that long. But Ag Scepter, Mech, Max Skin, it's pretty hard to bring this guy down. And he's probably going to be going in for another tanky item, probably going to be building into a heart, probably then an MKB afterwards to counteract the butterfly that Luna is going to eventually build. But we'll see. Jakiro, yeah, he will be going for that blade mail, so pretty smart pickup as well. Not to mention Tidehunter. If he doesn't have a BKB, he takes all that damage from Ravage. Lots of AoE spells going to be coming out. And also if Viper hits him, or sorry, if the other cool interaction is if Lust targets Viper in a fight and has a blade mail on, well, the corrosive skin onto Jakiro is actually going to be hurting Viper as well. SNA, he's moving up to the bottom lane. They're trying to catch this Death Prophet out. Living Armor is going to be buying some time. Mystic Flare, or Arcane Bolt, going to catch the far end, but not too committal. She's pretty freaking fast. When she phases, I think it's 521 move speed, if I'm not mistaken. Come on, phase boots, please. Phase boots. Phase boots. I don't care. They're all just kind of grouping up and Luna's farming. There's nothing else to watch right now. Phase boots, please. Alright, it is 521 move speed. Blink. Silence. Gush. Well, goodbye, Mike. You found their team. So good bait from them. And Jakiro finishes up the blade mail. All at the same time, though, she's going to do a lot of damage to the bottom lane. Or to the top lane. He can even just send his Mantle Illusions. They're going to be doing a decent amount of damage as well. Looks like he has the courier going to the secret shop to buy the Eagle Song. Tier 1 tower going to be contested at 28 minutes for Maruchan. We'll see if they want to fight here. I think they just want to buy time and let Luna do as much damage to the tier 3 as possible. We'll see. Zuni here is undercover in Nature's Guise. The courier comes in. It was delivering a pipe, but now it's going to be... Okay, now it's going to be able to make it away. Fluffy Stuff was going for it, though. Now he's out of position, gets Leech Seeded out. He doesn't... Oh, but here comes SNA. He throws out the Deafening Blast and the Meteor. Going to be able to clean out Zuni. Death Prophet's able to secure the kill. Oh, and the Treant Protector. TP actually gets cancelled. Stuck by the illusions. And then there's the Ice Path Silence is there as well, but the Veil is there. They can just right-click her. They don't care. There's going to be a Sunstrike to follow if they need it, but Force Snap is there. Oh, but the Blink Ravage coming in from Lice. Going to be able to stop them both in their tracks, but Cold Snap back on the Death Prophet. She's so fast, though. They can't keep up with her. Lice walks back into the Ice Path. Macropyre is spent as well, and they're going to have to back off. Relocate coming in. Has the Viper as well. Viper Strike on this SNA, but he's going to be able to just Ghost Walk out. And the Blade Mail TP was attempted by Jakiro, but he's going to be able to go down anyway in the meantime. They're saying, hey, defend this tier 3. Luna's going to get this for free. And she does. She gets that tower. Manta dodges the Viper Strike as well. And she might be able to get away. She has her Eagle Song as well. She's going to get very close to that butterfly. God, Luna is farmed. Ix Mike, he's coming here maybe for a Regoose. But they're gonna think better of it. So 26-27 the kill score, but Maruchan's so far behind. They just have not been farming as quickly. And they know that. They keep trying to get all these smokes. They try to get these pickoffs, and unfortunately, they just don't find enough heroes to make the time that they're spending not farming worth it. Just because there's a Luna in the game, it's really difficult. So, still, they've decided on a good game plan. They're executing it to their best of their ability. But I think there are just some cards that are kind of out of their hands. And Viper, he will be going for his own BKB. So, gonna get him a little bit tankier. Also, make sure he's not taking almost any damage from Luna or the Invoker, as well as the Jakiro, and it's actually really good against the team. I don't know why I thought of Heart instead of BKB first, but because I'm a scrub, I think Elias might have to go for his, might have to go for his own BKB, and yeah, Acropolis picks up her own as well. So their team fight's getting a little bit better as BKBs are starting to come out, and as well as the durations are going to be getting a little bit lower. Luna's only used hers twice. IX Mike does not have his Invoker. He's going to be working towards the Sheep Stick, so looking to stay back in these fights, not really get too involved, which is pretty easy when you do have the Aghanim Scepter as well as the level 17, which he's about to hit, so we'll have that level 4 Invoke. Looks like Ush, he's almost finished the Butterfly, and he's drawing the lines. He's saying, alright, as soon as I finish my Butterfly, pushing the lanes, let's go try to take a team fight. They won't have buyback, but there are just so many towers at Maruchan. There's also a Glyph going to be available in 2 minutes, so Maruchan's not going to be able to push high ground. They're not going to need to have buyback for this fight, and there's no MKB, there's no sheep, there's no way to really counter this butterfly coming out from Ush. So going to be a very good time. He has it on the courier. I mean, he could have just like walked to the side shop and gotten it there, but not a whole lot of people remember that if you have an Eagle Song, you can just finish the butterfly at the side shop. That's your lesson for the day, kids. So anyway, looking at core items, Maruchan, they don't have a whole lot of wards on the map. They actually only have this one defensive ward in their jungle, so that's I mean, part of the map control is obviously they try to go and get pickoffs, but the responses are really good. She's going to get silenced, but he has a Manta if he really wants. He's just going to wait out the duration. Whatever. His right clicks are pretty significant, too. This is where Luna starts getting really scary. She doesn't even have that much survivability. She hasn't finished the Satanic, and whenever she sells a Midas to go for something else, whether it be a damage item or be, I've seen Scotty and Assault Cuirass be popular as well, because both of those really help your illusions as well as your stats, as well as the Assault Cuirass. Gives you just tons of armor as well as the attack speed, which ultimately helps your glaives. So, pretty popular pickups coming out. We'll see. Roche is up. Both teams know this, but the timing is just... It's kind of passed for Maruchan because the BKBs come up. For IX Mike, the Butterfly's finished up. Invoker, has the money for a Sheepstick if he just sends a courier to the Secret Shop to buy the Mystic Staff and the Void Stone. So, I mean, Maruchan just kind of steps out of their base and then they wait out and avoid fights, and now they're back stuck in their base. Viper finishes up his BKB. I guess they were waiting for that, but they smoke up in the middle of their base. They're going to try to go for the complexity wraparound, I suppose. But I mean, Luna can just siege with glaives and forge spirits. Invoker hasn't even gone Necro this game, and they're pushing power. It's just absolutely absurd. And well, you're going to TP back down in the tier 1 tower. He ghost walks. He's going to be trying to get Stylo here. He's being pretty sneaky. He's being a sneaky Invoker. They're going to be going for this. They actually decide to ping out Sweet MC instead. He's a little bit easier to burst. There's the Alacrity on himself. Sweet MC, he's going to go down to a Lucent Beam as well. Viper, he tries to TP out, but I don't think they needed to commit to that. I think that just Luna and Fluff and stuff could have gotten him. Maybe Invoker could have cold snapped Viper and man fought him. They probably could have gotten 2 for that, but just getting a Wisp that's going to be back in 30 seconds, it's whatever. I don't really think that's the biggest deal in the world. Still, 27-27 the scoring kills, but in the gold graph, in the gold graph 20k, EXP not so much, as has been kind of steadily in favor of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, just mostly because of the farming coming out from SNA and Ush. The team fights as far as the kills have been keeping Maruchan pretty much up in the EXP. Just the lack of farm. You just can't, a Viper and Death Prophet can't farm as quickly as Luna and Invoker. It's just impossible. So they're not going to have as much gold, and they keep having to respond to these split-pushing Lunas. These Luna illusions that have the evasion, they have a lot of damage, and they have the glaives as well to push out the waves, and it's just such a pain to deal with. And the longer this game goes on, the more it's going to be favoring Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Like, as if you're Maruchan, you have to make a decision. They're going to be going on the Fluff and stuff here while he goes down. That's still a 4-position support. Like, who cares? I mean, I hate to put it bluntly, but they aren't getting enough done. They're trying, but just Sneaky Nyx Assassins are not providing the opportunities for them to really capitalize on this game. Roche is up, so we'll see if they decide to go for that. They are going to be blinking and going for that. It is not spotted by SNA, but they should know that something's up whenever the base is not being defended. I guess the real question is if it can be taken early enough. So anyway, it's a pretty slow Roche. It's just tied to Stylo here. They want everyone else to be visible on the map so that no one really suspects anything. So I guess I'll get it eventually, but I don't know if it's more important that it's secured or if it's secured quickly. I guess Ush doesn't really know, but I mean, he's got a Satanic now. I don't think they can kill him. Like, even with an Aegis, I think he just kills the whole team anyway. Not to mention, Invoker did finish up the Sheepstick a while ago. Seeing a casual 20k gold, or 20k, 2k gold. So they will get the Roche, but I don't think it's enough. At least it's something that's paying off. They're getting a little bit. No, that doesn't make their late game any stronger. That just means that the next fight, like, maybe they lose later after losing an Aegis as well, because their jungle is getting warded. There is no gem currently on the side of Sneaky Nyx Assassins. I know that Tidehunter has a gem, and that is his gem. He did pick up that gem for the D-War. He has his pipe and his blink. Probably going to go in for that refresher next, unless he goes for a Shiva's Guard. I expect the Shiva's Guard to kind of come out on the Crobolus, unless she goes straight heart, which she's coming up to the Secret Shop right now. Did she sell the wand and buy a Reaver? You sell the wand and buy a Reaver? You sell the wand and buy a Reaver? Oh, come on. Whatever. So we'll see when the team fight breaks out. I think Maruchan just has the, like, Sneaky Next Assassin just has the better team fight, whether they counter-initiate or if they initiate. But they're going for the split strategy again. They're just going to go for Luna, pushing into the top lane, and just saying you can't fight. Because Luna can just run away, she can BKB, she can Satanic, she can Eclipse, and a 4-on-5 can work too, because they're going to buy time for Luna to kill all the racks. I mean, I think that Luna can just kind of come and they can win the whole fight. But Stylo, he gets hexed, he has the Aegis, he's pretty tanky still. It's going to be fine. And they can't really send just one person to deal with the Luna and have a 4-on-4. I think if they did, they would probably be able to send Krabolis. So she'll be okay. Ush, he goes in. It's going to be the silence. The BKB is popped though. Oh, he almost popped the Ravage, but he stopped. And Dire, they're going to be fortifying their structures here. That's going to be a waste of a glyph, but it's also going to be Ush's BKB. Are they going to be going for him now? Exorcism has not been committed. Neither side is really committing right now. They do know they're pushing high ground in Aegis. Please don't back off. That would be annoying. Oh, relocate Ravage. Gonna be coming in, hitting on almost all of them. SNA, he's gonna go down right away. IX Mike, he gets the vacuum in the wall off on 4. And the Mystic Flare is there, but shared between a lot of them. IX Mike is gonna be going down as well. Fluff and stuff. He's stuck in the trees. He's gonna be able to get Zuni with an Arcane Bolt. In the meantime, the top racks are gonna be going down. Space created the same way they wanted it to be. Ice Path gonna be landing on the Stylo as well, and he's gonna be going down. He does have the Aegis though. Mid racks, they're gonna be getting pushed. Tide, he's trying to defend as well. And let's see if they commit. They're going on to Luna here. Ush, he pops the Eclipse, he pops the Satanic, and he's going to be trying to survive. He's fighting 1v3. He's going to be able to get this. SNA comes in as well and cleans it up. Buyback from Tidehunter. Stylo, he's back off of the Aegis, but Ush, he doesn't care. You can't even hit the guy. He has a butterfly. He's just stealing so much. He's doing so much damage right now. Why is he stuck in the ice wall? There's going to be a cold snap as well. Forge Spirit's coming in, and the pipe of inside his pot is fought. Jesus Christ, the pipe of insight is popped, but it doesn't really matter as that's going to be it. GG coming out, that relocate fight. Luna going to be killing the whole base, and, well, I think the gold graph says it all. Sneaky Next Assassin out-farmed them, and whenever you're getting more gold at a higher rate per minute, and then you let minutes happen, well, this is what happens. So, Sneaky Next Assassin going to be taking a pretty, I wouldn't say it was a convincing victory. I think they were ahead the whole time, but still, Maruchan, they took some pretty good even team fights. I think they fought in a lot longer than most of us expected, but this is a best of 2. We'll be getting into the second game right away, so thanks for watching. We'll be back in a couple minutes, and I'm Call Me Roxas. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to follow us on Heflatv at Facebook and Twitter, and Heflamoke on YouTube. So we're going to waste no time getting into the next lobby. We'll see you in just a moment.